Hey, third graders, we're going to work on elapsed time today. So while you are finding page 271, I'm going to flip to the back of our math journal. Remember, there's a glossary back there, which is like a dictionary that tells you the meaning of things. And when I look up at elapsed time, right, it shows me that it's the time that passes between the beginning and the end of an activity. Okay, so passing. Past like this, right? Like going by, not like your past, what you did in the past. Okay, those are two different words. So we're going to talk about time that kind of passes between. All right. So again, page 271, you can go ahead and pause the video to find that page. We're going to focus on number 2. Okay, I've got the rest of the page covered up. I want you to write the word T-chart. Okay, and you're going to need to find notebook paper, lined paper, plain white paper. Okay, I want you to have something to write on. It's not in your math journal that you can keep. All right, so not using a whiteboard. I'm going to use a whiteboard to show you, but you're going to copy it down on regular paper. Okay, so we're going to find elapsed time. You might be thinking, why do I need to know anything about elapsed time? Well, you should have already watched the Brain Pop Junior video. If you did not, then you need to stop this video and go watch that one. That's going to give you information that you need to know coming into this lesson. Elapsed time shows us the amount of time that has passed. So if I'm looking at this table right here, and I've got a start time of 2:30, let's say we're going to a movie and it starts at 2:30 and it's over, or you need to get picked up at 4:42. Maybe you went to the mall, right? How much time passes in between? So how long is that movie? Or maybe you're going to a friend's house at 2:30, right? And your mom or dad picks you up at this time. How much time were you at your friend's house? How much time went by while you were there? Okay, so we're going to work on this table right here. It's giving us the start times and it's giving us the end times. Okay, now normally we'd be able to use, right, an analog anti-clock, right? Analog clocks are the ones that have the hands. Digital Dan has the numbers on them, does not have hands. In the classroom, we'd all have these type of clocks, okay? But we don't have that because we're in Zoom school. So I'm going to show you a different way to find elapsed time, how much time passes. We're going to be using a T-chart. So let me show you with my whiteboard. Okay, remember you've got some paper. And I'm going to write down the start time, which was 2:30 p.m. That was from our page 271. And our end time was 4:42 p.m. So we can see both of these are in the afternoon. This is like recess time. This might be when you get home from school. If you ride a bus, might be having a snack. Okay, and we're going to make a T-chart, and we call them a T-chart because it's shaped like the lowercase t. Okay, just like that. On one side, we're going to write time. The other side, we're going to write hours / minutes. Okay, and you're going to copy this down. And remember, you can pause the video at any time. So I'm going to keep sharing the information, but you can stop it, right, and copy down what I have. So time, we're starting something at 2:30. I'm going to write 2:30 on the time side. And over here, I'm going to write the word start because that's when we're starting this activity. Okay, now on a T-chart, I want to be thinking in increments of time. So if it's 2:30, right, it's a lot easier to do hours than it is minutes. So how long would I have to go to get to the next hour? Right? It's already 2:30. What comes after 2 o'clock? That's 3 o'clock, right? So 3 o'clock would be my next hour. Okay, and I want to think how much time would go by until 3 o'clock. Let's hop to 3 o'clock. I'm going to write 3 o'clock on my chart. How much time passes by from 2:30 to 3 o'clock? Here's my clock again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 minutes gets me to the next hour. So I'm going to write plus 30 minutes. And I'm going to use that abbreviation. We've talked about that before. MIN period is the abbreviation for the word minutes. Okay? Remember, my start time is 2:30. I'm trying to get to the end time of 4:42. I'm at 3 o'clock now. Okay, now I want to go by hours. Can I go to 4 o'clock without passing my end time? I sure can. I'm going to go to 4 o'clock. So how much time has passed between 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock? Here's 3 o'clock. If I go to 4 o'clock, how much time is that? That's 1 hour. I'm going to write plus 1 hour. Right? I went from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I like to go in chunks of like 5 minutes, right? Or half an hour. Can I go from 4 to 4:30 without passing 4:42? I sure can. If I go to 4:30, how much time is that? Here's 4 o'clock. If I go to 4:30, how much time has passed? 30 minutes, right? We have half of an hour. We're going to add 30 minutes. Okay. Can I go to the next o'clock? Can I go to 5 o'clock without passing my end time? Oh, I can't. I can't, can I? I'm at 4:30 and I want to go to 4:42. Here would be 4:35, 4:40, 4:41, 4:42. So I bet I can go from 4:30 to 4:42. Let's write down 4:42. That's our end time, right? That's where we want to end up. That's our goal. How much time passed from 4:30 to 4:42? Let's look again. 4:30 to 4:42. 5, 10, 11, 12. 12 minutes gets me to 4:42. So now I'm going to write 12 minutes. Okay, so we started at 2:30. We ended at 4:42 because that's our end time on our chart. Now I've got to figure out how much time is that? I've got 30 minutes and 1 hour, another 30 minutes and 12 minutes. And I want to start grouping things together. How can I make time, right? Make groups of time. You know that 60 minutes makes an hour. I can see right here I have 30 and 30. Those are 2 half an hours. 2 half hours make 1 whole hour, right? So these two would make 60 minutes, which is the same as 1 hour, right? It's the same thing. So we could do minutes or hours. I'm going to cross that off. I want you to cross it off too, just so you know that 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Okay, so here I have an hour. Here I have an hour. And I've got 12 minutes. So I've got 1 hour, 2 hours, plus my 12 minutes. All together, 2 hours, 12 minutes. That's the amount of time that passed between 2:30 and 4:42. Okay? Now, maybe you are really good at telling time, and you can look at your clock, and you know that if it's 2:30, I can go to 3:30. That's 1 hour. I can go to 30. That's 2 hours. And I can go 12 extra minutes to 4:42. So 2 hours and 12 minutes is the elapsed time between those two start and end times. Okay, I'm going to move this, but I'm going to put it back, and you can pause the video to copy that down on your paper. Okay. When we're looking at the elapsed time, we start at 2:30 p.m., we end at 4:42 p.m. We just figured out it was 2 hours and 12 minutes. Okay, let's do a couple more. Pause the video if you need to copy this down, because you're going to need a model, an example that shows you how to solve elapsed time using that T chart, right? We always start with our start and end time, and we just add time until we get to where we need, okay? This was a half an hour. Here's an hour. Here's another half an hour. And then I have to count by ones. 12 more extra minutes, okay? I'm going to erase that, and we're going to work on the next one on our chart. Okay, what's our start time? I'm going to look on my math journal, 7:45 a.m. So I'm going to start at 7:45 a.m. and I'm going to end at 8:15 a.m. And maybe I get on a train and I have to take a train, and I need to be on it at this time, and I can get off of it at this time. How much time is that in between, right? This right here is called the elapsed time. Right? It's how much time is between, or how much time passes from one time to the next time, from the start to the end. Okay, we're going to start by making that T-chart again. Remember, on the left side, we write the times. On the right side, we write hours and minutes. Okay, so we're going to write that start time, 7:45. That's our start. Okay, I'm going to think, can I go to the next hour? Can I go to 8 o'clock without passing my end time? Yeah, I can. So if I go to 8 o'clock, I know that's a quarter of an hour. How many minutes is that? That's 15. Okay. Now, can I go to 8:05? Can I go to 8:10? Can I go to 8:15 without passing my end time? If I go from 8 to 8:15, that's my end time. How much time passed? Let's look at my analog anti-clock. Here's 8 o'clock. If I go to 8:15, how much time passed? Think about that. 5, 10, 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes passed. Okay, so let's add another 15 minutes. Okay, here's my start. Here's my end. I don't need to go any further. So I need to add 15 minutes plus 15 more minutes. If I do that, I make a new 10. I have 30 minutes. It's not even a whole hour, right? Only 30 minutes passes from 7:45 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. Okay, pause the video and copy this down on your paper. We're going to transfer that information into our chart. So from 7:45 a.m. to 8:15 a.m., it was 30 minutes, and we're going to use that abbreviation. Okay. Now, let's do this last one. 11:55 to 4:25. Notice this says a.m. So this is before noon. This says p.m. So it's after the noon time, right? So remember, we want to be thinking what kinds of things might be happening during those times so we can remember. And I'm going to write this on my whiteboard. My start time is 11:55 a.m. I'm going to write 11:55 here because that's our start. And then remember, we want to know what's our end time. 4:25 p.m. So this is right before lunch. Time passes. This is about the time you might get home from school if you were going into a building. Okay, it would be a little bit before dinner time. Okay, I like to do in 5-minute hops. 11:55. What's my next hour? Here's what 11:55 looks like on my anti-clock. It's almost 12 o'clock. How many minutes until the next hour? I've got 55 to 60, right? Because 60 minutes in an hour, there's 5 minutes. So I'm going to put down my next time as 12 o'clock, and I'm going to say plus 5 minutes. Okay, then I want to be thinking in chunks of hours. Okay, I know I can always go, right? I'm going to count. Can I go to 1 o'clock? Yep. Can I go to 2 o'clock? Yep. 3 o'clock? Yep. 4 o'clock? I can go to 4 o'clock. That's 4 hours. Let's write 4 o'clock. I'm going to write down hours, not minutes. Okay, so now I'm at 4 o'clock. And it's 4:25. So how many minutes do I have to go? I can go 25 more minutes until my end time. So here's my start. Here's my end. 4 o'clock to 4:25. We know that's 25 minutes after. So we're going to go 25 minutes. Okay, so we're done. Start time, end time. Now we just need to put all of this time together. Okay, I've got hours here, and I've got 2 different recording of minutes. If I have 25 minutes and I add it to 5 minutes, how many minutes is that? I've got 30 minutes, right, between these two. So 25 and 5 becomes 30. Just need to add that to my 4 hours. So altogether, my elapsed time is 4 hours and 30 minutes. So remember, start time, end time, we're finding the amount of time in between, which is the elapsed time. And using this T-chart is a nice resource for you. It helps you to kind of take the time in little chunks, right? Little bite-sized pieces. You might be able, right, to do it in your head. Maybe you can do it on a regular clock, okay? But not everybody can. So this is one way to kind of pull it apart or deconstruct it, to take it apart. Let's write down on our chart our start time and our end time. And how long was that? 4 hours, 30 minutes. Okay. When you work on your homework tonight, you're going to have this video to look back on. You're going to have this chart. Most importantly, you're going to have this T-chart that you have copied down on regular paper, right? I said not to use a whiteboard because you want to be able to see each step for each of those problems. Okay, you're going to have some elapsed time work to do tonight. And it might be tricky, right? You might not quite understand, but the more we practice, right, the better you'll get. And we all have different thinking times. So if you're feeling today like, I don't quite understand, we're going to continue with some more elapsed time, doing some word problems. Okay, so don't worry. It's a tricky concept, but you will get it.